Thank you, Matt. In light of world pressure on Israel to accept a Palestinian state dividing their land with Hamas and Palestinian Authority terrorist organizations, and for Israel not to enter Rafah in Gaza to destroy Hamas there, what is the State Department's response to Prime Ministers Netanyahu and the Israeli cabinet, as well as the entire Jewish population, who are defending their right to live free from terrorism? And a follow-up.
We, of course, agree with Israel's right to live free from terrorism. If you've looked at the repeated comments that Secretary Blinken has made, not just here in the United States, but in Israel itself, on his 5 trips to the region, he has made clear that he supports Israel's right to ensure that October 7th can never happen again. And more importantly, he is trying to achieve a resolution of this conflict that will ensure Israel has long-term peace and long-term security, including security, of course, from terrorism.
Are you going to be wanting to prevent Israel from entering Rafah to take out Hamas there?
What we have said is we do not support a full-scale military campaign in Rafah that does not account for the more than 1 million Palestinians who are currently there. People who have nothing to do with Hamas, innocent civilians, men, women, children, the elderly, who in many cases have fled to Rafah from their homes, in some cases have fled more than once, have fled 2 or 3 times to escape the war, the conflict that is raging in Gaza. So we fully support Israel's right to take a military campaign to Hamas and ensure that, that the attacks of October 7th cannot be repeated, as I said. But we also want to see civilians properly accounted for. And right now, we don't believe that there is a way to conduct a military campaign in Rafah without moving some of those civilians and properly accounting for their humanitarian needs.
What are the reasons of the State Department for not demanding Hamas immediately release all remaining hostages unconditionally?
I think you've missed dozens and dozens of statements from the State Department going back to October 7th. Well, it's actually October 8th by the time that, that we were aware that hostages should be released, and was the first time the Secretary called for the immediate release of hostages, and he has continued to make that clear, as have I, as has the President. We have demanded time and time again that hostages be released immediately and unconditionally.